Everything you have ever known about black holes is a deadly misconception. We always imagine them as obedient traps, sitting still and waiting for prey in the deepest reaches of the galaxies. But the universe is not that merciful. The truth is, at this very moment while you are listening to these words, our Milky Way is harboring at least 100 million orphan black holes, wandering aimlessly like invisible naval mines. They do not have fixed orbits. They do not emit even a single beam of light. They are machines that crush matter more than 10 times heavier than the sun, tearing through space at speeds of hundreds of thousands of miles per hour, which is about millions of kilometers per hour, in absolute darkness. And here is the scariest part. If an invisible monster like that were heading straight for our solar system right now, the entire astronomical network of humanity would be completely blind. The only warning we would receive would not be from advanced satellites, but only when the night sky suddenly twists in a bizarre way. The orbits of the planets are turned upside down, and gravity rips the Earth apart before we even have time to understand what is happening. Welcome to the dark side of deep space. If you are brave enough to face the most haunting truths of the universe, please leave a subscription to the channel to join me on this journey. Because today, we are going to expose every type of black hole existing out there. And trust me, the largest monster is not necessarily the most terrifying thing you are about to see. Let us start with the eternal graves of the stars, stellar mass black holes. This concept might sound familiar, but the truth about it is much more brutal and suffocating than your imagination. When a massive star dies, its core collapses. Pick up a marble. Now, imagine you crush the entire Earth, every ocean, every mountain, and the lives of 8 billion people, squeezing all of it until it fits perfectly inside that tiny marble. That heavy and absurd feeling is exactly what reigns at the core of a black hole. A singularity where every law of physics known to humanity shatters. And do not think they are out of reach. Recently, scientists shuddered when they found Gaia BH1, a black hole located only 1,560 light-years away. By cosmic standards, this monster is truly holding its breath and growling right next door to us. But here is the greatest deception. A black hole is not actually a hole. There is no funnel that drops down into infinity. It is a sphere of matter with a gravitational pull that bends space into an absolute prison. The invisible boundary of that prison is called the event horizon. When you slide past this boundary, a horrifying truth will be revealed. Gravity here is so massive that it suffocates time itself. To an observer standing far away, they will never see you fall inside. They will only see your image frozen forever at the edge of darkness, turning glowing red and then slowly fading away. But what about you? Your body will be brutally stretched by gravity into an atomic thread. And in the final split second before your consciousness is crushed, if you look back at the universe outside, you will witness the entire future of space and time. Billions of years of all things, stars being born and then dying out, all fast-forwarding before your eyes in just a fraction of a millisecond. At the edge of the event horizon, you do not just die. You have just witnessed the apocalypse of the entire universe. But if stellar mass black holes are the embodiment of death, there is another species of beast that represents the beginning. Discard all your prejudices about the collapse of massive stars. What we are about to face is even more ancient than the first light of all things. They are primordial black holes, ageless ghosts, forged right from the burning furnace of the Big Bang. In the trillionths of a second, when time first began to tick, the universe was a boiling machine of chaos. There, quantum pockets were crushed under unimaginable pressure to give birth to black holes, carrying the ultimate paradoxes of nature. Their size could be as tiny as a single atom, but they carry on their shoulders the massive weight of an entire Mount Everest, which is about 7 trillion tons, or approximately 6.3 trillion metric tons. So what would happen if an atom-sized fragment like that crashed straight into the Earth? The surprising truth is, it would not open its mouth to swallow our world. Instead, with a density of matter so concentrated it is brutal, it would become an invisible bullet of God. It would pierce straight through the Earth's crust, as easily as a supersonic bullet tearing through a piece of wet paper. It would plow through the surface, stab through the molten core, tear apart every subatomic bond along the way, creating invisible earthquakes from deep underground, then coldly puncture the other side of the globe to shoot out into the misty space. And here is the thought that will make you shudder. For many years, astronomers have been frantically searching for planet number 9, a mysterious giant world using gravity to pull the orbits of thousands of asteroids at the outer edge of the solar system. But the latest mathematical equations are pointing to a much darker scenario. The force lurking behind everything in humanity's backyard is perhaps not a planet made of rock or ice. That manipulator is very likely a primordial black hole orbiting our sun, with a physical size exactly equal to a grapefruit. Leaving behind the microscopic ghosts, now it is time for us to look up at the true ruling gods of the universe, supermassive black holes. If you suffer from a fear of giant things, then the following truth will leave you breathless. Located at the core of almost every galaxy, including our Milky Way, are great hearts of darkness. Take the black hole M87 star, for example, a ruthless cosmic tyrant located 55 million light-years away. Try to imagine this. Its mass is as heavy as 6.5 billion suns combined. That means you could take our entire solar system, throw it inside its pitch-black void, and our world would be lost there insignificantly, with plenty of room left for dozens of other solar systems to fall in. But that greatness is not the scariest part. These evil beasts do not just sit still and wait. They are spinning with a furious speed, approaching the boundary of the speed of light. And when a massive entity like that swirls, it triggers a reality-warping phenomenon called frame dragging. Imagine the fabric of the universe is a thick jar of honey, and a supermassive black hole is a spoon stirring frantically at the center. It does not just suck in matter. It is dragging and twisting the very fabric of space and time to spin along with it. This twisting is so violent and insane that even light is forced to bend, snap, and twist into eternal circles around the edge of the black hole, forging a blindingly cruel halo of fire. Looking into that ring of light, you do not just see dying matter. You are witnessing reality itself being suffocated and shattered under the ultimate power of darkness. But all that we have just witnessed is still just insignificant grains of sand compared to the absolute king of darkness, the ultramassive black hole, or as astronomers mutter to call them, the blasphemers of all physical laws. And reigning on the highest throne of this doom is an entity named Ton 618. Take a deep breath, because your brain will have to struggle to accept a scale so absurd. Ton 618 carries a mass 66 billion times that of the Sunday. Any comparison with the Earth or the solar system at this point becomes a ridiculous joke. Let us use light itself as a ruler. A ray of sunlight from the sun takes exactly 8 minutes to warm your skin. But if a beam of light flies across the surface of Ton 618 at the staggering speed of 186,000 miles per second, which is about 300,000 kilometers per second, it would have to struggle to fly continuously for many weeks, even an entire month, just to cross the entire diameter of this monster. However, this is the greatest paradox, a supreme irony of the universe. A black hole is by definition the ultimate darkness, but Ton 618 is the source of the brightest and most violent light ever known. It is a quasar. Because its gravity is so aggressive, this monster tears apart entire constellations, crushes giant gas clouds, and draws millions of celestial bodies into a giant death spiral around its maw. This insane mass of matter crashes, suffers brutal friction, and is heated to trillions of degrees. That process of squeezing out life releases a beam of light so bright that it outshines the light of trillions of stars combined. And from the two poles of that death disk, jets of plasma explode, roaring out into space, tearing through millions of light-years like the flaming spear of a god rushing to finish off another world. But hidden deep beneath that ultimate violent beauty is a truth that truly terrifies the scientific community. The light from Ton 618 has taken more than 10 billion years to reach our telescopes. That means we are seeing it when the universe was just a burning newborn baby. And here is the catch. How? In what way could a black hole swallow such a massive amount of matter to swell to the size of 66 billion suns in such a short period during the dawn of the universe? Mathematics is helpless. All modern physical models are shattered. It is so great that it should not be allowed to exist. The presence of ton 618 hanging out there is like a cruel mockery of the universe, crushing all pride and exposing the tiny understanding of humanity about this vast darkness. We have always believed in a great lie, that black holes are the most ruthless destruction machines in the universe, where everything that falls in will be erased forever. But quantum physics reveals an even more haunting truth. There is a supreme law manipulating all things. Information is never destroyed. So, if matter falling into a black hole does not vanish, where does it go? This is when your reality begins to crack. When a star, a world, or you yourself fall into the mouth of a black hole, you do not vanish into thin air. Your entire three-dimensional structure is brutally compressed, flattened, and encoded into a two-dimensional data stream, and that code is permanently imprinted on the surface of the event horizon. A black hole is not a murderer. It is a massive hard drive, preserving the silent memories of everything it has ever hungrily devoured. Let us call this the holographic principle. And now, let this final truth submerge you. If this three-dimensional world is just an illusion projected from a two-dimensional plane, then is it possible that the entire vast space we live in, the entire reality you believe in, is actually just a brilliant projection sitting inside a giant black hole belonging to another universe? We are always terrified when looking into the abyss. But who knows? Maybe we are living right inside it. A black hole may be the end of matter, but it is not necessarily the end of space and time. If Einstein's equations are correct, then on the other side of destruction lies a beginning. Welcome to the concept of the white hole, the reverse twin of the black hole. A door that does not allow anything to enter, but only spews out matter and light from some void. If a black hole is the dark entrance, then the white hole is the brilliant exit leading to another reality. So, what is truly hiding on the other side of the abyss? A parallel universe, or an infinite loop of time? Please, leave your comments below, and do not forget to subscribe to decode the mystery of the white hole with me in the next episode. Because, in this universe, an end is sometimes just a new beginning.